Okay, welcome back to my channel. This is part one of what if Deku was a demon lord. Now, before Deku became a demon lord, or before the anime, if we even get to the anime, let's go on Deku's backstory. So back in Deku's world, his human name was Merlin. He was abandoned by his family and his village. Everywhere he go, he get beaten. He had to steal to get food, water, clothes. And that just made the people even more angry of him. Everywhere he go, he get beaten, nearly killed. A lot of things would happen to him. He lived a horrible life. And that's where he got this hatred for humans. This strong hatred for humans. So he trained his body and his magic and changed the name from just Merlin to Lucifer. Merlin Lucifer. His hair, from that black looking color, turned to white. His eyes glowed purple. And his strength was even more. He had a sword that only he could pull out of his sheath. If someone else tried to pull out the sword, they would not be able to. This sword is so unique to only him that if anybody, even a hero, tries to pull out the sword, it will not work. Only he can, and no one else. Now, as Merlin goes on, slowly but slowly, he's turning from human into a demon. His skin becomes tougher to the point where it's impenetrable. Holy weapons don't even affect him anymore. Neither does holy magic. The only thing that does affect him is a sword. A sword made out of his own blood by a god, an evil god. Well, in Deku's standards, or Merlin's, he is an evil god. He made this sword out of Deku's blood. And that's the only thing that can hurt him. And the person who wielded this sword was a hero. Deku's, well, as you can say, a friend that he once knew. But Deku only had two friends in his life. And both of them turned out to be traitors. The first one was a girl. Deku, was pretty much friends with her to the point where he would lay down his life for her. But she betrayed him. She worked for this dude who basically told her to bring Deku. And they beat Deku on that day. They beat him down. They nearly killed him, but Deku escaped and slaughtered everyone there. But he left his used-to-be friend alive and placed a curse on her. This was a 10-year-old Merlin. He placed a curse on her to always feel the pain, to see these memories of her dreams of Merlin being beaten, nearly killed, bleeding. He also cut off one of her eyes, so now she only has one. And she would always on that day that Merlin got kidnapped and tortured. I always feel the pain of her eye getting torn out. Now, Merlin became the Demon King or Demon Lord, whichever one you prefer. But I like to say Demon King. He became the Demon King, known as Merlin Lucifer. Feared by all. No one wanted to test his power, except one hero, his used-to-be friend. As his friend worked for the church, and Merlin thought that he actually found a friend today. He found him, but he turned out to be a traitor. And he showed no love for Merlin. So they stopped being friends. Every chance that Merlin's friend had to fight Merlin, he took it. He fought him, trying to kill him to stop him from doing his evil doings. But in Merlin's eyes, it wasn't really evil. It was just him being him, trying to survive in this world that was cruel to him first. Oh yeah, this is a villain what if. Yes, this is a villain what if. Cause I could have did it good, but I wanted to be villain. Now, this not the sword that Merlin has. No, that's not it. The sword he has is like a katana that has the sheath that's red and gold, and the sword itself is black. Now, after Deku's years and years upon years as ruling as the Demon Lord, his friend finally kills him. But at the same time, Deku kills him. They kill each other. Now, Deku is then reborn into Deku. As Deku, Merlin is being birthed again. As he's wondering, where am I? Why is it so dark? What is going on? As then, basically the birth happens and, Deku was born. Inko's looking at her baby and says, unlike her or Hisashi, who Hisashi has black hair, Inko has green, the baby has white hair. And Hisashi thinks that Inko cheated on him, but Inko says, I did not cheat on you. Hisashi says, yes, you did, as he storms off, filing for divorce on Inko, thinking that she cheated on him, but that's not the case. Then there's the eyes. Inko and Hisashi. Inko has green eyes. Hisashi, we don't know what color eyes he has. But the baby's eyes don't match theirs. Purple eyes is what he has. So, Deku is, you can say, Inko got angry at the fact that Deku caused her marriage. So, she gave Deku up to an orphanage as he grew up alone. And everyone in the orphanage bullied him because of his purple eyes and his white hair. And also the fact that he did not have a quirk. Now, Deku did have one thing, his sword. Oh yes, Deku found his sword. And he hid his sword as his sword came to him also from his world. Now, he hid his sword in his room under his bed. Deku didn't went to, as they say, school. He had to go. It's what it was required. I can't speak. Don't judge me. Required of him. At school, he also get bullied. Also at school, he made one friend. This little boy. Deku and him was good friends, but he was always getting bullied, and Deku would always step in to stop the bullies from bullying him. Even though Deku did not have any quirk, he could still fight, as he was super strong, as he fought back for his friend. But because his friend got bullied every day, and every day he gets sad and sadder. Now, Deku and his friend are in, I'm going to say, 6th grade. Yes, they're in the 6th grade. Well, American equivalent in Japanese, school system as 6th grade. So, Deku's friend finally had enough, as he took his own life. As Deku heard of this, he was angry, super angry. So, the kids that bullied Deku's friend was sitting in class, just smiling at the fact that his friend basically took his own life. As Deku was just sitting there, his fist tightly squeezing his fist to the point blood comes out. And some people in class notice this, but they don't say anything. Deku then pulls out a pencil. He starts sharpening it, and keeps sharpening it until it gets to a fine point to where he pokes his finger on it and actually stabs through the skin. Now, Deku's skin is not impenetrable yet, seeing that he did not train his body yet to a point where he had in his previous life. As Deku gets up, he walks to the ringleader of all these kids. He walks to him and he quickly stabs the pencil right through his hand. As the kid is screaming, Deku brings up his leg and kicks him in the face. The other kids get up to try to fight Deku, but Deku takes them all down too. As he grabs a book, smashes one in the face. Another one comes running at him as he's finna throw a punch. Deku ducks it, and he punches him in the jaw, and then knocks him to the ground. Another one came, Deku kicks him to the wall. He hits his back, and then he slides down the wall. Now, Deku then walks to the ringleader of all this, who is still in pain, holding his face, and his hand was just bleeding. As Deku basically takes the pencil out of his hand, and he gets him off the tape, gets him out of his seat from the table. He takes his head and he starts repeatedly hitting his head against the table over and over and over again. And at the end, Deku could not feel the kid's breathing anymore, as Deku had killed him. The other kids, Deku slowly walked over to them. He started stomping one of theirs head until it caved in, got a chair, and started beating one of their chest until it also caved in and stabbed him through his lungs, making it so he could not breathe anymore. The other kid, Deku basically opened the window, and they was on the 5th floor of their school as he threw him outside the window. as the kid landed on the sidewalk and he died at that moment. Now, everyone in the class at that moment was scared as they just seen Deku kill 4 students. As the teacher calls security and the police, but Deku leaves. He picks up his book sack and leaves the classroom as he's walking away slowly. As in the afterlife, Deku's friend just seeing what Deku just did, as he is crying from what Deku just did. Now, the bullies in the afterlife, they go straight down. They don't go up. Deku's friend, he doesn't go down like them. He actually goes up. Even though he did kill himself, they actually seen why he did it. Now, Deku, he gets back to the orphanage. He goes into his room. Well, the hall where everyone else is, sleeps and, everyone else's beds are at. He grabs his sword from under his bed and he leaves the orphanage. Hold on, I sneeze. Sorry about that. He grabs his sword and leaves the orphanage, never to be seen or heard from again. As Deku was living on his own, as the news come on. 4 kids brutally murdered at such and such school. And they showed a picture of the kid who did it. They showed Deku, white hair, purple eyes, saying that this kid murdered them all. Now, they start asking the kids why did, other kids that was there, they asked them why did Deku do that. And they said it. The kids that, Deku basically killed were all the reason that, this kid died, because they was bullying him. And when the teachers basically announced the kid's death, they were laughing. And Deku and that kid were actually friends. So that's why Deku did that. As people can justify what he did. Some people can justify, and some people think that what Deku did was wrong. He shouldn't have killed them. But they said now we're still looking for this kid who basically did that. Now, the type of villain Deku is. Deku is not a villain that basically kills people for no reason. You could say that Deku is only a villain just to kill people that are evil. He kills villains. He kills corrupt heroes. He does things like that. He doesn't kill innocents. Now, a couple of years pass, and Deku is now, I want to say, 12. During this time, Inko did recognize who this kid was. This was the baby that she had, because she mimics those, features. That white hair, those purple eyes. She remembers that because that was the reason she had lost her husband. And she remembers that's the baby she gave up. And she thinks that Deku is nothing but a villain, a demon. Now, Oh, that felt good. Now, let's skip to another person's point of view. As this boy, same age as Deku, actually, same age. Born on the same date, with gold eyes and, blonde hair. His name was Michael. Now, Michael is actually Deku's friend from his previous life. Michael is seeing this. He remembers Merlin from his previous life. White hair, purple eyes. As he is a little bit angry that Merlin is back to what he was doing in his past life. But Michael would never understand what Merlin is going through. This pain that he feels because he lived in a different household. He didn't grow up in an orphanage. He grew up with loving parents. Now, Michael still has the sword that can kill Deku. Deku still has his blade, his sword that can kill anything. And that is a sword that I'm gonna do. Alright. I'm gonna end this off right here. Sorry, but I gotta end it off. Alright, I'm gonna see y'all later and I'm gonna finish this in the next part. Peace out.